Ack actually responded to this, and I want to actually check that out while we're here, because those were the main topics. Like I said, I don't feel like talking about Diddy and Justin Bieber, but if you listen to these clips of Ack during the everyday struggle times, he sounds like a Kendrick Lamar fan and not a Drake one.
I don't think he'll be considered classic. I'm not considering that Drake has any unilateral classics that would be seen by the culture.
Ack saying Drake has no unilateral classics? This ain't AI. This came out his fucking mouth. I wouldn't even agree with Everyday Struggle Act. I probably did when I heard this episode. I'm like, no. We'll give Drake credit for Take Care. That is definitely a fucking classic, period. Take Care is a classic. Views is a classic. I give Drake 2 classics in my classic bracket. Views is definitely a classic. Take Care, classic. Everything else could be debated. But wow, I didn't expect to hear that. I found this thread. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. The Kendrick Lamar fan might have something here. Hold up.
3. And I'm not counting. I think all these are classic.
This is him talking about Kendrick Lamar's albums.
It's just some his shit is
He
amazing.
said he had 3.
Wait, what's the 3 you count?
To Pimp a Butterfly.
And this is bueno.
As a classic album?
Yeah, I thought like by far. Actually, I think the rapping on To Pimp a Butterfly is better than Good Kid, Mad City. The songs on Good Kid, Mad City, and some of the concepts that he kind of get into, and also it's a first look on a big scale, so like we see it differently. But if we just going by rapping, I think some of his best rapping in his career, like if we're just talking about the 3 albums, was on To Pimp a Butterfly, and that's why I think it's not that easily digestible. This nigga was really rapping, trying to explain some shit, which of course, if like me. 3.
Wow. I was honestly, I watched Everyday Struggle during its inception. I totally forgot these were Act thoughts. Like, I always knew he respected Kendrick, but I didn't know he respected him this much. Especially hearing him recently. He fucking called that nigga NyQuil at this point.
The thing, so we could talk about it more, but the last point, I felt he really said to Drake and Big Sean, and he said with these lines, he says, gotta lay something down if you making threats, gotta say something now, don't hold your breath. And with him saying that to me, he was saying, listen, if y'all got a problem with all these claims I'm making, say something right now.
Is Drake scared of Kendrick? Let me get my direct questions out the way.
Yes.
What? Drake is scared of Kendrick? I know this is all academics, but this is still academics. The #1 Drake glazer of all time. Drake's biggest fan. At this point, Akademiks is Drake's biggest fan. #1 fan. He's gotten it stamped. He's scared of Kendrick Lamar?
No, hold on.
Rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan, man.
I think we gonna agree with the first part of this. Yeah. We all agree what he's saying. I mean, if you are the greatest, you shouldn't have a ghostwriter, someone paying your bars. No, hold on. I think we.
Wow, this is him calling Drake a ghostwriter. What the fuck? Okay. I know I have a lot of questions. This is crazy. Akademiks responded to this shit. He responded. Let's go to my nigga Joe Budden Clips, Chat Nigga 101. He responded to all of that. He was like, I seen it, and let me respond to it.
The K-bots.
Okay,
the K-bots.
Oh, these are the K-bots? I understand, Ak. I understand. These are the K-bots whooping feet. I was like, yeah, this is definitely a Kendrick Lamar fan. But he found some good clips, Ak. You gotta explain yourself. You do. You're the biggest Drake fan ever. And you're over here saying Drake is scared of Kendrick Lamar. He can't rap better than him. He has ghostwriters. Kendrick has 3 classic albums. Drake has 0. Now, okay, I get it. That is all out of context. I'm sure as time went on, Ak explained to himself, said, wait, no, it's Drake. It's not Kendrick. It's Drake. But
Good Kid, Mad City, classic. To Pimp a Butterfly, I've always said that's not a replayable album for me. But
you called it a classic. All right, I'm done.
If I was viewing it in the eyes of a critic, that is actually a classic. It's actually a better album just critically. than Good Kid, Mad City. Enjoyably, fuck no. But it's a real, like, you could tell, like, if you're a hip hop critic, yes. Now, does anybody play the album? No, but cool. So, culture classic, yes. And by the way, I still say it's a classic. Yeah, it's a classic. Untitled, bruv. The nigga dropped an album with a bunch of unnamed songs. Fuck that album. Like, niggas is talking gibberish. What comes after that? Do we get Damn?
One pause. Hold up. One pause. Just one. I just fucked up my DBVs. I need to fix that. I might sound a little low. Hopefully I don't. Who cares? One pause. To Pimp a Butterfly, I still go back to. If These Walk Can Talk, great song. You Ain't Got a Lot of Kicking, my nigga, amazing song. There's some amazing songs on that To Pimp a Butterfly album. It took a while for it to become a classic to me, but it's definitely a Kendrick Lamar classic. For sure. But this next thing, what did he just say?
That album. Like, niggas is talking gibberish.
Oh, Untitled, Unmastered? You think he's talking gibberish, Act. Bro, you gotta listen to the album, man. You got it. I know, I get it. We gotta hate on Kendrick Lamar as much as we can. And that ain't really no official album, but he put it out. Well, Untitled, Unmastered has some amazing gems on it. Some amazing songs on it. That I love. That I truly love. Honestly, some of Kendrick Lamar's best work is on that album, in my opinion. All right, I'm done talking.
What comes after that? Do we get Damn? Damn classic. Damn is a classic. Damn's classic. Mr. Morale, I won't call it a weed plate, but that's that nigga therapy. Like, he had to go vent about his mama being a man or his grandma, somebody being somebody, okay? I don't know what it is. Whatever the fuck that is, okay? Still, it's not bad. It's just not classic. It's not bad. It's just not classic. Nigga did a therapy album. I'm not into therapy albums, okay? And I really think his thing is the we'll go and be all right type shit. So Kendrick got 3 classics for me. Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly. I think that's the critically acclaimed type of joint. And then we got Damn, right? I could go down the list with Drake. You want to do Drake? Take Care, classic. Nothing Was the Same, classic. We're gonna skip If You're Reading This Is Too Late, even though I think it is classic, but that was a tape. Views, I like to believe that Views is classic. Views reminded me of an attempt to recreate his last attempt to recreate Take Care. Okay? More Life, even though I'm gonna still count it, even though well, I guess I should count If You're Reading This. If You're Reading This is a classic, but it's a tape. So it's not an album, it's a tape. So we have Take Care, If You're Reading This, both classics. No, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, classics. Nothing Was the Same, low-key, might be his best album, even though Take Care has a special place in my heart. If You're Reading This, classic. Views, I think Views is a classic. I think one of the skits me and Joe did, I think we were arguing, Life to Promo, Everyday Struggle was arguing Views versus More Life. More Life to me ain't a classic. Like, I'm sorry, just too much other niggas. Too many of them niggas on the album. Too many. Like, I was spoiled at that time. Drake albums used to just be Drake. Drake didn't have like 5 niggas feet. When I looked, that was the first time I looked up, I said, Young Thug? What the fuck is Young Thug doing on this guy? And by the way, Young Thug is a legendary artist. But I look at him, Young Thug? You know what I'm saying? Now, cool. What else? What happens after that? Scorpion. Scorpion to me is a classic. I don't know which fingers I'm at yet with the classic, but Scorpion to me is I love Scorpion, honestly. After Scorpion, we get CLB. Scorpion CLB. Really good. It's Dick Ryan if I say everything. It's really good, but nah, I wouldn't call that classic. After CLB, we get Honestly Nevermind. That's not even a hip hop album. After that, we get Her Loss. Honestly, I don't think that's if I'm comparing that to collab albums, I don't think that's a classic collab album. And I think we might have to say that I prefer What a Time to Be Alive. By the way, I skipped What a Time to Be Alive. Damn, Drake dropped a lot of fucking projects. I skipped What a Time to Be Alive, but Her Loss isn't a classic. Good, but not a classic. What a Time to Be Alive? I think it is. Or maybe it's just age, like appreciated with time, given what's happened since and given the run that Future was on. Let me see what happens after that. Then For All the Dogs, I think good, not a classic. So me, if you ask me, Drake's last classic is not For All the Dogs. I think Scorpion. Like classic, yeah. Scorpion. Yeah, CLB pretty good. Honestly, never mind, not a hip hop. Dark Lane Demos, it was a mixtape, but still not classic. Yeah, so that's 2018. So like, you know, like these K-bots be having these like weird ass like thing going on. Listen, I still am gonna criticize Drake. Like I think Drake has, like from a quintessential classic, he's a few years removed from dropping that. I really don't think that, like For All the Dogs it's a good album. I don't think none of these albums are trash, but I don't think they're classic. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. What's the next one? Drake is scared of Kendrick. Yeah. At that moment, I definitely believed it. You know what the fuck? Kendrick name dropped him on Control. Drake did not respond on a direct song. What happened next? The whole little tuck the sensitive rapper back at like, now granted, we heard later Drake basically saying that, yo, I'm asking this nigga if it's smoke. He's saying it's not smoke. So like, bro, like, well, should I just fire on a nigga? All right, whatever, it don't matter. Yeah, at that time, it looks like Kendrick is taking obvious shots at Drake, and Drake ain't really saying squabble up. Now, clearly, and by the way, I could change my fucking opinion. Clearly, when we get to 2023 or 2024, this year. So when we get to this year, Drake's like, at least initially, right, before the battle starts, yo, what's up? Let's get it on. But before, I definitely thought that I was like, yo, I think Drake is smart. You know, this nigga Kendrick is a little bit cloud chasing, but he's a little bit more shrewder than these other guys. So I don't give a fuck about saying that. I did think that Drake was a little bit scared of Kendrick until he said, "What's up, nigga? Drop." Yeah. And then the last one, you can't have a ghostwriter and be the best. Well, it depends on what we're talking about. I did say Drake isn't we created 3 lists. I have a best artist list, I have a best rapper list, and then I have a best MC list. I don't think if your best work is written by another person, you can't be on the MC list. Now, Drake is on my MC list because the majority of the works that would qualify him to be on there are these timestamp records, which we've never heard a reference track for. Yes. So, and by the way, and even then, I have Kendrick higher on my MC list than Drake. That's a fact. I have Drake as the best rapper ever.
No. All right, I'm done. I've heard enough. We've heard enough. It's only fucking 50 more seconds of this clip. I could play the rest after I finish ranting. But Atkins said he said enough. Let's get this straight, okay? Before everybody out there, before everybody found out Drake had a ghostwriter or Drake had ghostwriters, we all considered him the best ever. In rap, period. Rap, MC, all that. Best ever. I had him on that list. A lot of people had him on that list. It was hard to argue that this nigga was not only changing the game with singing and rapping, but the vibes that he was bringing, you could not argue it. When we all thought it was all him, you couldn't argue it. But after we found out, after Meek Mill ran his damn mouth on Twitter, instead of putting it in a damn song, after he went and ran his damn mouth on Twitter, exposing Drake about the ghostwriters he had, that's when he dropped down. For me and a lot of niggas, okay? I used to love Drake in high school. Sophomore and junior year, you couldn't tell me, even senior year, you couldn't tell me shit about Drake. But then Meek Mill opened his damn mouth and let it be known that, hey, this nigga Quentin Miller, he's writing all his shit. If you're reading This Is Too Late, it's all him. And it indeed was all him. We heard the references. We heard them. And even to this day, we're still hearing fucking references. Whether it be Mob Ties or Jumbotron shit popping by Lil Yachty. Like, why are you even taking a Lil Yachty song, Drake? You're Drake. You should be able to hop on that beat and do better than whatever Lil Yachty gave you. Oh, I want the vibes. No, fuck all that. You're Drake. You're quote unquote, to you and the rest of these niggas out here, the greatest rapper ever. You figure it the fuck out. Like every other rapper would have to. Every other rapper would have to figure it the fuck. You figure it the fuck out, Drake. Stop this. We make excuses for these niggas. Why? Because we like them. I'm just never been the type of fan or stan to make excuses for any of these niggas. Period. Because I see behind the curtain. I see the human. I understand what it's like to be in the booth, be in the studio, have a pen and pad, write some shit. I get it. I get how hard it is. It's not easy. So when you got a nigga like Drake that has basically found a way to put his career on autopilot by having songs written and sent to him and him crafting and doing what he wants to do with these songs and catching whatever, oh, I like that vibe. Bro, I wish I gotta come up with the vibes. I gotta come up with the bars. I wish I could just hear something and be inspired. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck? And you know what Drake's excuse for that was? You know what his excuse was? Rap's a collaborative. It's a collaborative process to me. Huh? You think when Prodigy and them, Kool Mo D, LL Cool J, all them niggas back in the day, you think it was a collaboration with them? Them niggas was writing their rhymes. Them niggas was writing their shit. You can't respect it. I'm sorry. You cannot respect it. At that point, if we have to think about all the MCs, we have to think about all the rappers in the world, Drake just has to be put at like 2025 at that point. Because other niggas really had to get it out the mud and their bars really transcended something. You did kind of get it out the mud, kind of, sort of, not really, but you did. And your bars, unfortunately, didn't transcend how other bars that you were saying transcended. Like, that's how that went, man. At the end of the day, I remember hearing that fucking story. I don't know who it was that told. I don't know if it was Quinn Miller. Somebody told a story about how Drake just heard the track in the studio, smoking his weed, listening to the track. All right, cool, bet. Told the engineer to cut the beat on, went in the studio, and literally did the exact same thing he heard. At that moment, I was done. I'm like, bro, you can't defend this thing. How do you defend it? I don't get how the Drake stands do it. They do it. And they do it well. The OVOs, the OV-hoes, they do it well. They defend this nigga well. I don't get it, but they do it. I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's how you defend him. I give Drake credit for rap battling with Kendrick. I'll give him credit for it. But at the end of the day, when you have these stains on your career, forget the fucking other shit. When you just have these stains on your music career and your music making processes, bro, when you hear about Jay-Z and seeing him do interviews, hear how people talked about how Jay-Z used to rap, bro, totally different. This nigga Jay-Z was hustling and remembering his raps at the same time. So when he went to the studio, he wasn't wasting time because time is money. Like, come on. Them niggas was really getting it out the mud in the 90s. But niggas like Drake can, collaborative effort. We're collaborating. Niggas can collaborate. What the fuck? That's all. That's my rant. That's my fucking rant. But no, it's crazy to me. That is fucking wild to me. How they give Drake this excuse.
On my rapper list, I made this list already. Like, this shit's public.
Like, I understand the whole separate list thing. Look, if we want to talk greatest artists ever, like just broad statement artists, Prince, Michael Jackson, all these, Drake definitely is in the top 10. For sure. Number wise, popularity wise, top 10. Artists. But when we get into this thing called hip hop, when we get into this thing called rap, no, he's not in the top 10. He's not even in the top 15. He's had too much help. I'm sorry.